You mentioned Alex staying at light heavyweight for his next fight. You look at the rankings, number 1, Prohajka, beat twice. Number 3, Jamal Hill, he beat him. Number 4, Blachowicz, he beat him. Rakic, 5, coming off loss. Can number 2, Magomed Ankalaev, who's unbeaten in 12 straight, get his title shot now?
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Alex said before the event he wanted to fight him so he could prove that he has wrestling.
I like it. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Crowned a new champion tonight. Can you give us your initial thoughts on the main event tonight?
Yeah, not what I expected. I expected a lot more.
Fight that close, do you lean towards immediate rematch?
Probably.
Put him against Ankalaev.
Tem que ser mais agressivo só, você entendeu? Tenta lá fundão, Bruno.
Alex Pereira recently shared a training video showing him drilling wrestling and grappling techniques. For a long time, fans and critics have pointed out that Pereira's biggest weakness is his wrestling defense. He is one of the most feared strikers in mixed martial arts history, but his ground game has always been questioned. When this new footage came out, people thought it might be a sign that Pereira is working hard to round out his skills. But then, Magomed Ankalaev, the current light heavyweight force and one of the top contenders, decided to speak up. Instead of giving credit, he mocked Pereira. Ankalaev laughed off the clip, saying it doesn't matter how much wrestling Pereira does now, he's still not a threat on the ground. And with that, the conversation took off, sparking debate across the MMA community. To understand why this is such a big deal, let's first talk about Alex Pereira. He comes from a kickboxing background, and not just any kickboxing career. He was a multiple-time Glory kickboxing champion. His power is legendary. We've all seen the way he knocked out...
Entendeu? Agora tô aqui, ó. Aí,
Israel Adesanya in kickboxing, then later beat him in the UFC to capture the middleweight title. When Pereira moved up to light heavyweight, fans wondered if his striking would translate, and it did. His precision, his calmness under pressure, his ability to end fights with a single punch, all of that made him one of the most dangerous fighters in the world. But even in his biggest victories, the same question followed him. What happens if someone takes him down? Joe Rogan gives his raw reaction to the ongoing debate in the MMA world. Is Alex Pereira avoiding Magomed Ankalaev? In this clip, Rogan breaks down Pereira's fighting style, his knockout power, and why many believe he may not be too eager to step inside the octagon with a dangerous wrestler and striker like Ankalaev. Rogan highlights the risk factor for Pereira. Facing Ankalaev means dealing with elite wrestling, powerful striking, and a well-rounded skill set that has made Ankalaev one of the toughest contenders in the UFC's light heavyweight division. At the same time, Pereira's fans argue that his striking is on another level, and a matchup like this could deliver fireworks for MMA fans.
If you look at his performances, the guy's not had a bad performance. Like, there's not one fight that was boring. There's not one fight where he wasn't trying to win.
He's not a wrestler.
Right, he's fighting top contenders. He's fighting top guys. Yeah, he's a fucking animal. And he's out of the conversation. Like, they're talking about Ankalaev fighting, you know, like, oh, Alex is avoiding Ankalaev, so he takes Khalil. Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz went to a fucking draw. Like, what about that? Like, what about him?
Yeah, maybe because he doesn't make as much noise, because I don't really see him.
Against Jan Blachowicz, we saw that exact question play out. Blachowicz, known for his grappling, took Pereira down early. For a while, it looked like Pereira was in trouble. He survived, he defended well enough to keep himself safe, but he didn't exactly dominate on the ground. That fight ended in a decision, and many people pointed to it as proof that Pereira still had a glaring hole in his game. Even though he has proven himself as a striker, the ground element always lingers. Which brings us back to the recent training clip. Pereira wanted to show the world that he's not just a striker anymore. He's adding layers, preparing for the wrestlers of the division. Now let's look at Ankalaev. He's from Dagestan, a region that has produced some of the greatest wrestlers and grapplers in MMA history. Ankalaev is undefeated in his UFC run, aside from a controversial fight here and there. His style is suffocating. He mixes powerful striking with relentless wrestling. Ankalaev doesn't have to prove his grappling. Everyone knows it's there. Everyone knows he can control opponents, take them down, and keep them there. He has the typical Dagestani foundation, wrestling and sambo, plus the discipline to push the pace. Ankalaev has long been seen as the kind of fighter who could dominate someone like Pereira.
Вот здесь это надо было сделать быстрее.
Carlos Plates believes Alex Pereira will come back stronger in this rematch. He said Pereira finally had time to recover, work on his mistakes, and return as a better version of himself. In his words, Pereira is going to step inside that cage and deliver a knockout victory.
I think Pereira gonna win. You know, he got a break on his career. You know, he saw all his mistakes, you know, and fix everything, and now I think he's gonna step on the cage and gonna knock Ankalaev out.
Moving on to Curtis Blades. Curtis also sided with Pereira, and he tied his prediction to the champion's health. He explained that Pereira had been dealing with an injury, and even mentioned that Pereira suffered from the same illness Curtis himself had experienced. Knowing how tough that recovery is, Curtis said as long as Pereira is healthy, he's backing him to win the rematch.
I'm gonna go with Pereira because of the injury, and also I heard he had this same illness that I had, and I know how that feels. So yeah, as long as he's healthy, I go with Pereira.
Next, we have Chase Hooper. Chase looked at the fight differently. He gave the edge to Magomed Ankalaev, mainly because of the wrestling advantage. According to Chase, Ankalaev can use his grappling to shut down Pereira's striking and take control of the fight. What really surprised Chase was how well Ankalaev was able to outstrike Pereira in their first meeting.
Probably Ankalaev. I think he'll probably grapple a little more and again just get that win. I was surprised at how well he was outstriking Alex, to be honest.
Then there's Davey Grant. Davey kept his prediction short and clear. He didn't go into much detail, but he said confidently that his pick is Ankalaev. Now we hear from Diego Ferreira. Diego backed Pereira, pointing out that he expects him to make big adjustments. He believes Alex will be much better prepared to handle Ankalaev's wrestling this time around. And with that preparation, Diego sees Pereira coming out as the better fighter.
I've got to go with Ankalaev again, definitely, I think.
Finally, Drucker close. Drucker also leaned toward Pereira, but he was honest about what needs to change. He mentioned how Pereira seemed tentative and distracted before, maybe because of all the traveling he was doing. But now, Drucker feels Pereira will be more focused, and with improved takedown defense, he has a real chance to edge out a decision, or even finish the fight.
I'm gonna go Pereira. Let's go. I'm gonna throw that coin right there. I'm gonna throw there Alex. You know, I think he's gonna be more well prepared for his wrestling. You know, I think he's gonna be a better fighter this one.
Who's taking the rematch? Alex Pereira or Magomed Ankalaev? Some say Pereira's striking will be the difference. Others believe Ankalaev's wrestling seals it. What do you think? Stay tuned with Fight Pulse for the latest UFC news, predictions, and fight breakdowns.